Hey y'all, it's Janine. I'm back, and guess what? Florida lawmakers have been busy this year. Let me tell you something. They put over 100 new laws on the books just in July. Some good, some weird, and some that'll actually affect your day to day. So I went through a few of them because I'm nosy like that. And I pulled out a few, in my opinion, it's worthy of knowing about. So I need y'all to ride with me for a few minutes, then I'm gonna let you go. First up, if you've been thinking about upgrading your windows or your roof, there's a little bonus in it for you. It's a home hardening tax refund. Florida will reimburse you up to $500 for impact windows, impact doors, or a reinforced roof. Now, before y'all go out, run out to the Home Depot. It's a refund. It's not a discount. You got to pay all this money up front and have this stuff done. Then you got to file a paperwork, and they'll send you a check. You just got to keep your receipts. And look, I've been in Florida claims for 10 plus years, so I'm always going to tell you those upgrades will pay off on your insurance policy. But this is the cherry on top if you're already planning on it. So if you're planning to upgrade anyway, this is free money. But child, don't rush out and do this just for no $500 if you don't have to, because that's a lot of money you got to spend up front just for those $500. Now here go one. If you like to eat out, especially in those tourist spots that they have here in South Florida, Florida restaurants now have to show all those upfront fees. No more ordering a $22 meal when the check comes, all of a sudden it's $30. Menu prices are what you pay from now on. That's a biggie. Now, because listen, I went out for martinis the other day and I got the bill thinking the martinis usually in South Florida, they cost between $12 and $15. That all depend on the type of vodka you want to have in it. The bill came and it was $20. I was just bemused. So I asked the waiter, I called the waiter over there, look, let me ask you something. How come this one martini is $20? They said, it's $15 for the martini, and because we had to use extra vodka to make it, it's the extra $5. I said, the devil is a liar. Well, needless to say, I won't be going back there drinking no martinis. It's water from now on for me. If I get thirsty, I'm not spending on $20. For that money, I could have bought a bottle of whatever I wanted. Anyway, now let me warn you, this next one sounds boring, but it actually matters. Florida has put rules on data centers. You know these big data centers they build around here. Those big old giant buildings full of servers that run your internet. Here's the thing. They use massive amounts of electricity and water. And in some states, those costs will trickle down to the people that's paying their power bill. Y'all pay for those data centers in those other states. But Florida said, we're not doing that here. Florida is regulating it so that big tech companies can't pass their energy bill down to you and me. But you know what? In my opinion, this is worth keeping an eye on, because Florida keeps growing every day. Now here's an interesting one. The state passed a new law that stopped local governments, in some cases HOAs, y'all know how those HOAs are, from banning gas-powered tools like leaf blowers and trimmers. So in the morning time, your yard men out there, they riding their little, and they cutting grass and trimming the hedges, all this noise. Basically, if your community was planning on having folks and lawn services go electric only, Florida said, hold on now. That call is going to be the homeowner's call, not the government. If your lawn person show up and he's on a gas-powered lawnmower and a weed blower, he good to go. You can't be called the power. Now here's one I really love. It tickles me to death. If you are looking to buy a pet this summer, this one's for you. Sellers now have to hand over the health records of the animal that you're buying. If they sell you a sick animal without telling you, you can go back and get a refund. Basically, Florida's cracking down on shady breeders, and I ain't mad at that. Now, y'all, I'm about to pick up speed, so hold on. These are the ones that caught my eye, but I didn't do a deep dive on it. First one is tougher penalties on drivers without driver's license, because they do ride around here a lot with no license, like regular. They're going to expand stricter restrictions on certain offenders. They have new environmental rules on toxic chemicals in drinking water. So watch the water that you drink. And here's a fun one. If your kid is in the marching band, it's now called PE and they can get a credit for it. Now here's one that wasn't in July, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. The new Florida driver's test is not in English and English only. So that's not going to work out too well for a lot of people here in Florida. So that's the roundup, y'all. 130 new laws, and these are just a handful that I thought was worth knowing. Some of them put money in your pocket, some just make your life a little bit easier, and some, child, is just Florida being Florida. If you want the Florida news, insurance, and homeowners info broken down into plain English, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop me a comment which one of these laws surprised you the most. I'm Janine, y'all, and that's what's going on in Florida. And I'll talk to you next time.